Back when the Emperor of Mankind still walked amongst humanity, he created 20 superhuman beings that were going to act as his generals on a crusade to unify the ancient, scattered human civilizations of the Milky Way galaxy. This crusade would become known as the Great Crusade, and these generals, the Primarchs. What made these Primarchs unique is that they each had command of their own Space Marine Legion, and each battle brother of this legion held the gene seed of their respected Primarch. The gene seeds held the essence of the Primarch, in the way they waged war, their appearance, their temperament, and their beliefs, all built into this gene seed. This lineage would affect and develop differently in each battle brother. Eventually, in the Grander Imperium, tragedy struck, as nearly half of the Primarchs betrayed the Emperor of Mankind, in what became known as the Horus Heresy. Luckily, the Emperor and his loyalist sons defeated the traitors and the forces of chaos. Unfortunately, the Primarchs eventually realized that the first founding legions were too large and powerful to be left as is. Led by Primarch Gilliman, the Space Marine Legions were broken up into smaller factions known as successor chapters in order to prevent any rebellion like the Horus Heresy. And each successor chapter became a unique snapshot of the specific element of the once grand legions. It is from these first founding legions that your successor chapter or your homebrew chapter would descend from. Just so we have an understanding of what each first founding legion was, and not mixing it up with one of the successor chapters that is common within the Codex of the Space Marines, let's look at the first founding legions. Those were the Dark Angels, the Emperor's Children, the Iron Warriors, the White Scars, the Space Wolves, the Imperial Fists, the Night Lords, the Blood Angels, the Iron Hands, the World Eaters, the Ultramarines, the Death Guard, the Thousand Sons, the Luna Wolves, the Word Bearers, the Salamanders, the Raven Guard, the Alpha Legion, and I want you to notice that there are two missing. Those correspond to the two missing Primarchs, and also throw in an extra one, the Grey Knights. The very first successor chapters came from the 9 Space Marine Legions that didn't betray the Emperor, and what became known as the Second Founding. From that point forward, whenever the Imperium was in dire need of Space Marines, they would sanction a founding, and thus new Space Marine chapters would be created from some of the battle brothers of either one of the first founding chapters or one of their successors, using the gene seed of their respected Primarch. Now, it's important to note that although a successor chapter carries the same gene seed as their parent, that doesn't mean that the two chapters will be identical. For example, out of the Imperial Fist came the Black Templars and the Crimson Fist, yet all three chapters hold wildly different beliefs, and the way they wage war is completely different. And the reason for this can vary from where the chapter gets its recruits to what the chapter was tasked to accomplish in the first place. And although the second founding was made up of the 9 Loyalist Legions, that doesn't mean that subsequent foundings didn't use gene seed or battle brothers from the traitor legions, because not all battle brothers betrayed the Emperor, and some went on to fight as Black Shields or were separated from their traitorous Primarch during the heresy. And this might sound heretical, but trust me, I've been reading enough Warhammer 40K lore to know that they specifically write the lore vague enough for you to have the creative freedom to do what you want with your army. So brush off that idea that someone's trying to call you out for lore discrepancy, because odds are that there's some obscure lore in either the video games, the comic books, the novels, or even the codex that allows you to fit your idea within the grander 40K lore. You just have to be flexible enough to bend your lore. Again, I hope you found this video helpful, and I will talk to you guys in the comments section. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.